Peace. What up, y'all? Out here working. In the darkness. Where am I? I feel like I need my map. Trace. I'm going to take right. Around. Right. Left. Alright. I'm in the proper direction. Do I want to tag someone in this video? That's weird. That's weird. I could invite others, but I'm selfish tonight. The idea of gun laws and the conversations and the arguments that I had over them. And I compare it to superhero comics in the sense that, considering the tragic massacre that happened in New Zealand recently with the Muslim victims, which way do I want to go? I want to take a left, and I don't know how I'm going to do that right now. But anyways, so very swiftly, the politicians, those who are in charge in New Zealand, made a pact that they were going to adjust and change these gun laws in their country. I am not broadcasting this in order to give an opinion on whether or what they should do in their own countries. But what I am saying is that it's interesting. It's not the guns, guys. It's the hatred. The guns are not the problem. It's the racism and the phobia that causes the manipulator, the controller of the gun, to use the tool as it is known to be used, which is to throw bullets from the barrel. And they're quick to do this. And again, I go back to like the idea of, it's not the gun, it's the person. I could murder somebody with a spoon. Is it the spoon? It's possible. Try me. Gore. Oh, it's 12:25. I gotta go this way. It's possible. Anything is possible. We could outlaw cars when we decide that we're gonna drive them into people. So I related to this. Isn't that the whole idea of comic book lore? Isn't that the whole idea of mythological lore? Somebody being in a position to meet aggression with like aggression. If the criminals are going to continue to get the guns regardless, then how do we look outlawing the guns when only the outlaws are going to have the guns? We're supposed to depend on the police and law enforcement? We should put all our trust in them? Well, as a black man in America, I say hell no. But just because I'm a black man in America, the idea of being able to meet aggression with aggression lies within the MCU universe, the MC universe. What are all these Marvel movies all about? Threats imposing themselves on your way of life, and those who are capable of fighting back, because as we know with these movies, regular humans Their roles are limited, but we need those who are above the regular human power level, those who are above the potential of the brain and mastering skills. Oops. So, I don't think it's a smart idea. I don't think it's a smart idea. It's a good idea, guys. The idea of banning weapons, especially when we know that the outlaws will be holding them. And I guess I'm talking about New Zealand and their hastiness to make a promise of we're gonna change this gun stuff, the gun laws here. That's not what it is. I got a brother who he's an Orthodox Muslim, and he promotes the idea of Muslims having weapons, and even to the point of having a weapon inside the mosque in order for them to be able to defend themselves. And I get it. The idea of turning the other cheek has been confused and misconstrued. Turning the other cheek doesn't mean you slap me on this one and I'm going to let you slap me physically. You slap me on this one, I'm going to let you, I'm willing to take another slap from you. Because we are inherently born with the right to defend our lives, considering no other human being, at least, gave us our lives other than our parents. And therein lies the joke of, I brought you into this world, I'll take you out. Turning the other cheek has nothing to do with that. Turning the other cheek has to do with if somebody is abrasive in their response to you or disrespectful, we have the choice as to whether we're going to respond in kind, or as to if we're going to repress our emotional reaction and focus on the logic and the value and the outcome of our response. It's much better to sit in logic than it is to sit in emotion. Emotional, it creates tangents that we're not really ready for. But as long as we're logical and we suppress the emotional reaction, then we can. I think we're in a better position to not allow the situation to direct us, sway us, move us, what have you. I'd rather be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war. Why? Because war is a reality. Whether it's personal or whether it's interpersonal, war is a reality. History has told us as much. The way that we live our lives has told us as much. We have enemies. We have people that don't like us. Does that make them a threat? Not necessarily, but considering that they are so controllers of themselves, they have the potential of doing something crazy. And it doesn't stop at just cussing somebody out. It could get to the point where they put their hands on you. I'm not afraid of any man. I'm not afraid of anyone. What I'm afraid of is what the individual may make me do. That's the only thing I fear. Because I know that there's dudes out here who will bring things to a particular level, and I understand that in order for me to squash this chaos and confusion, I'm gonna have to meet them at their level. And that's scary to me because I don't want to go there. So, since so much is out of our control, but we must meet aggression in kind with like aggression, taking away the weapons does not make us safer. Banning martial arts does not make us safer. Because shit, what happens if we get into hand-to-hand combat with an alien invader? What the hell? We're going to be useless. We're going to be flailing. We're going to be like this. Get off me. Stop hurting me. We're going to have to grow our fingernails long in order to have a weapon where we can scratch. I think a fist is more effective than fingernails. So that's my thing, guys. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. This wasn't a question. The gun was not what was the gun was not the motivator. It was the person. The gun was the tool. And there's plenty of people who carry, and they carry responsibly. Even if they get to a point where they flash their gun, they're still carrying responsibly because they're not taking anyone out. So, with that being said, my condolences to the families. My thoughts are with them. The idea of this phobia, Islamophobia, is lumped in with white supremacy. It's a problem on this planet. It's a problem. It's fear. It's weird, yo. Because me knowing the science, it's inevitable for these white people who claim what they claim. Oh, we're being erased from this planet. The white race is gonna disappear. Guys, it's inevitable. It's inevitable for white people to be reabsorbed into the family, into the black family. It's inevitable. The Caucasian race only makes up about 10% of the population on this planet. What do you think? So, is your opposition, does it make sense for your opposition to be violent? And negative and come on. For example, I can understand why a person of color, especially a black person in this country, I can understand why they want nothing to do with white people. I don't condone it because I treat everyone fairly.